All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Enhanced. Hold it. Wait a second.
Welcome to the
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Enhanced Sports Show. It's just after 4 o'clock in the Northeast, and welcome to the show. My name is Lou Tenor, as you all well know. The number to call is 512-543-4662. I'll repeat again, 512-543-4662. I welcome all comments and questions and all guests, but this is a family show, so keep the language clean, please. Okay. All right. Got a lot to cover. So remember the 5-minute rule because we got with the Super Bowl coming up and we'll recap the Pro Bowl and everything. Oh, boy. Of course, I don't know if I thought about that, but I mean, that was kind of like a joke. But, they had last week and it was, well, kind of weird. But anyway, who is ready for the Super Bowl? I know I am. This should be a great matchup to begin with here. This should be a fairly intense matchup with you know. Okay. Oh, first let me bring in the callers. Steve, are you there? And Diane is there. Okay, good. All right, so let's begin. I gotta find a way to fix this thing. All right, so check the first line of the day with the Super Bowl ready. Um, we got of course, the Kansas City Chiefs representing the AFC, and we got the Eagles representing the NFC in what should be a high flying matchup between two of the best quarterbacks in the game right now, Jalen Hurts and, of course, Travis Kelce. Now, I know he's going to win, but I'll tell you this right now. There will be a Kelce winning a championship tomorrow. That is a guarantee right there. No, no two ways about it. There will be a Kelce who has a title. Question is, which one is going to do the better job? You know, I mean, Travis, had a great game with the AFC Championship. And, it looks like all this one's go for Patrick Mahomes. He says his ankle is feeling much better than it was 2 weeks ago in the championship game. So he's primed and ready to go for it. And I think if all holds according to true, that they could seriously challenge the Eagles. A lot of people have taken the Eagles favored by the 1 or 2 points that have been given all throughout the week. But I don't really pay attention to that by the spread. And most of all, of course, it changes, every couple of days. Some say it'll be 1 or 2 points or whatever, but I don't really buy into that. So anyway, his right ankle is in a better spot than it was at the AFC Championship game. The All-Pro does not expect to be limited in action as the Chiefs take on the Eagles. Good. Mahomes said before Wednesday's practice at the ASU facility, he received treatment on the ankle at the time that he hurt in the divisional round game against the Jaguars in the division, and will likely continue to see treatment until kickoff time. So yes, that is a little bit of a concern, but I don't think it's going to be too much of anything to worry about. You know, receiving treatment right up until the game time. It's it's nothing of there's nothing of very major concern. So I think he's going to be ready. He injured the ankle when a Jaguars pass rusher landed on him in the first quarter. X-rays were negative and went back into the game. And by far, it was a better game than the NFC Championship game. It ended 27-20. Now, what I want to know is, of course, who do you think will win the game? But what do they need to do to win the game? That's part of the question, of course. Steve Davidson is here. Steve, how are you? Well, if you're here, that's the important thing. So, and of course, the Eagles are going to go with Jalen Hurts. I don't know. I'm not sold on Hurts right now. I mean, okay, yeah, they creamed, of course, the 49ers in the AFC Championship game, but I don't know. I think maybe they're going to run out of steam a little bit. After having a performance like that in the AFC Championship game, which I did not see, and for good reason, thank goodness. I don't think that Jalen Hurts is going to have the same type of power um, as he did in the AFC Championship game. Of course, I could be wrong, but that's the way I see it. So what we'll do now? Nervous? Well, I think everybody's a bit nervous, Steve, but I think everybody is a bit nervous. But you are playing in the Super Bowl, the most watched game of the year. Everybody's gonna be doing that, but you gotta put that aside as well. I mean, you're yeah, right, yes. He did. Yes, he did. Well, that remains to be seen. I mean, keep in mind that not every winning team has MVP. Sometimes it has gone to the losing team. That has happened in the past. So that yeah, it has happened before. Well, yeah, but still, he has it has happened once before. I think actually twice before with that. So, and Mahomes is going to be ready. Yeah. All right. So we'll ask the questions like we did on the other show. Who is going to win the ever popular coin toss first? Steve, we'll start that with you. Steve Davidson, it is. All right. All right. Steve. Not- Aha. All right, Diane. All right. All right. Now, who is going to be able to score first? Steve Davidson, start with you. All right. Steve Kent. Diane. Yeah, I do too. But I think yeah, I think the Eagles also win the opening toss. But of course, that doesn't really mean anything. Some might think that's an advantage. I always thought, like, why are you giving it up first? You're going to give them a chance to score. Well, that's where your defense has to come in, and you got to find a way to outsmart them. So there is a bit of strategy involved into winning the coin toss and deferring. Because if you're behind, you can, find a way to catch up and, overpower them in the second half. So there is, yeah, yeah, right, yeah, right. Eagles coach stick right, yeah, mm, in the league. Okay, yeah. Mm. All right. So moving on, Eagles coach Sirianni was let go when Andy Reid took over as the Chiefs in 2012. And although Sirianni was with the Chiefs wide receivers coach at the time, he was appreciative on how he handled the situation. He acknowledged that he was not retained as part of Reid's staff of a motivating force to him. He said, "Do you have a chip on your shoulder?" Sirianni replied, "Yes, I do. But that's how I am as a coach and a person." I believe that, because sometimes, coaches have that, but that's who they are. That's their style of how they do it, and I don't have any problem with that, to be honest with you. Sometimes you gotta go with a chip on your shoulder. Yes, yes. He's a player coach. Right. All right. Yes. So yes, I want to make sure I'm working it all off to get as good as I possibly can and show you how I can hold on to some of those things. Serini started his coaching career with the Chiefs in 20 as an offensive quality control coach in 2009, then worked his way up to the receivers coach. But when Reed took over as head coach, replacing Romeo Crino after a 2-14 season, he brought in Dave Culley from Philly to fill that post. Okay. So, but I understand he has a chip on his shoulder, and sometimes you need it. It shows aggressiveness, I think. So it's not that surprising at all. I'm not surprised by that. And another plus for the Chiefs, running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's gonna play. That could be interesting now, won't it, guys? Yes. Helaire has not played since week 11 with the Chargers as he suffered a high ankle sprain, but he did finish with 302 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns and caught 17 passes for 151 yards and three touchdowns. Helaire started as the main back for the Chiefs until he lost the starting job to Isaiah Ponchio, a draft pick in the 7th round. Wow, 7th round. Helaire only had one game with 10 carries. That was in week 4 against the Bucks. Excuse me. Monchero led the Chiefs in rushing yards this postseason with 122 yards on 2 carries. Okay, not bad. The Chiefs did have a rushing touchdown in both those victories against the Jaguars and Bengals. Strange, but true. Hardman's regular season win week 9. He had 25 receptions, 297 receiving yards with 4 touchdowns, and ran for 2 more. He did start the divisional game against the Jaguars, but returned for the AFC title game versus the Bengals. But the ankle injury got aggravated before the game was over. So with Helaire coming in now, this might be interesting, won't it, guys? I mean, because nobody was expecting him to come in, but he's gonna play. So that might bet a little bit more towards the Chiefs. So yes, it will. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, rest versus rust, as the old saying goes. Steve Davidson, your thoughts? Bomb? Mhm. Yes. Don't mention that guy. Yeah, don't mention him. That yeah. Yeah. Any thoughts, Diane? Mhm. Yeah. Well, we'll get to that in a little while. Yeah. But I do think there's gonna be I don't think it's gonna be, I don't think it's gonna be a one-sided game. I don't expect to see a blowout. So, what do you think the final score? No, I shouldn't say it. Well, yeah, just don't say who's going to win. But what do you think the final score will be, without giving away who's going to win it? Steve Kent. Okay, Steve Davidson and Diane. I'll give you my score after. Okay, here's the thing though. Well, Steve Kent's fairly new to the show. I mean, he hasn't been on in all the years up to it. Steve, um, what is each? What are the keys for what? Let's say the Eagles need to win, and then what are the keys that the Chiefs need to win? Yes. Aha. Yes. Mhm. Right. Alright. Common, common. Right. Yes. Alright. No, they don't. Contrary to popular belief. Yes. Right. Yes. Mhm. Okay. Right. Alright, Steve, your thoughts. Keys to the game. Alright. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. Right. Yes. Alright, Diane, keys to the game. Uh-huh. Not that easy to do. Alright. Oh, we just lost Greg. Ugh, I can get back. Or, hmm, oops, wrong button. Okay. Oh, Devin's here, I think. That you, Devin? How you doing? Okay. Yeah, we're going over the keys of the game today. So what are the keys that the Eagles or the Chiefs, depending on who you're picking, what do they need to do? Basic but agreeable. Basic but agreeable. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I agree that I think that well, I have to go with Steve Kent. They can't give up the running game because that's what's going to be very important, especially as they go into later. So based on that, and the Eagles, depending on Jalen Hurts to see what he does. So the Chiefs can hold the running game, and with Hilaire back in, I think that's going to be a very good running game for the Chiefs. So the Eagles might want to watch out here. So we'll just see about that. All right, guys. Now, who saw the ridiculous sham of the Pro Bowl game last week? I know I didn't. Thank goodness. So I mean, I think Alex is here. Okay. Yeah. You and me both. You and me both. Yuck. Exactly my thoughts, Steve. Yes, exactly my thought. That was not good. We'll never get the whole day back. Never mind the 4 minutes. We'll never get the whole day back. Ugh. I mean that wasn't even a game. That was like watching a pickup game at a playground. That was a game? Yeah, real. It was dumb. It was just that dumb. I mean, yeah, I mean, I know the purpose of it, trying to cut down the injuries you know, and whatnot, but that didn't even look like a game, to be honest with you. I mean, no tackling, no contact, and whatnot. That's what football is. So, how can you even say that you're even trying to do anything? Because basically, you weren't really doing anything. You were playing it safe, but this was like second and third grade football, not pro football. You're there to still play a game. You're still there to win, even though it's for pride for your conference. But it's not time to go soft. I mean that. I know it's well. I heard the players enjoyed it, but I'm not so sure about the fans watching enjoyed it though. Well, I understand that, but if they want to meet the players went up and no, but then wore it down to say the least. I mean, that was you know I've seen more contact I think in a playground game. To be honest, I see more of my. There are some that do, Diane, but I think after this game, I don't think they're gonna pay much attention to the Pro Bowl. I mean, because that game was a sham. I mean, it really was. You gotta play a little hard. You gotta play a little hard. I mean, it is a football game. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yes. Yeah, I mean, it was just, stupid was the better word I think I could name it. It was just that, just dumb. I wish they'd go back to the old format. But if they wanna just make it like a comedy of errors, fine with me. Ugh, part of the game though. Mm, what are you, BB King or something? The thrill is gone. No, no. Thrill is gone. Wait up. Sorry, guys. You see what I put up? You see what I put up with every week? Okay. Yeah, yeah. All right. All right. Well, yeah, I know, I know. I should be used to it by now. 5 years into the show, I should be used to it. Okay. All right, guys. Good afternoon. All right, guys. So here's the deal with I think it's Gerald. I think it is. I know that voice anywhere. Okay. So here's the thing. Brady filled out his retirement papers. So maybe this might be true after all. That he's gonna call it quits. Yeah. So we think. Um, he, he did- hold on. Hold on. See. Let me finish. Let me finish. All right. So here's how it went. He filled his retirement papers from the NFL and the Players Association to officially confirm his retirement. Well, so we think. I'm still giving him a little bit of time to, change his mind. The letter, which begins processing NFL Players Association benefits, silences any questions of a possible return, and to be a shoe-in for the Hall of Fame in 2028, which is his first year of eligibility. Now, last season he pulled the Michael Jordan and Brett Favre act. Like, yeah, I'm retiring. No, I'm coming back. No, I'm retiring, coming back. So he pulled that last year, and he did within 40 days. Yeah, I said Brett Favre. So anyway, right? He did that 3 times. Yeah. So Brady did not. But however, Brady did say his next retirement will be for good, and said he is ready to move beyond football after playing for an astounding 23 years and 7 Super Bowl titles. Brady announced that he will assume his role as an analyst for Fox Sports in time for the 2024 season, not 2023, as some might indicate. That might have came from a non-sports site, which if it's from that, I don't believe him. The fact that the move happened yesterday means the Bucks will take on the brunt of his $35 million in salary cap dead money in 2023 versus being able to divide between 23 and 2024 if they alter the avoidable years in his contract, then wait until after June 1st to process the retirement. All right, so since Gerald first came in, what do you make of all this? So, can we rest assured that Brady is gone? Gerald? Okay. All right. I wouldn't be surprised. Steve Davidson. Oh, Mayo. Yeah. Right. Okay. Let me hear. Okay. Let's hear from Greg who just popped in. Greg, are you there? Well, we're gonna do basketball as well. So we're gonna do basketball as well. Yes. Yes, they do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I yeah. Okay. Oh, yes, right. Yes. You're not good. Okay, you can come back though. I mean, it's not gonna be all football, so we'll touch basketball. Okay, great. Okay, right now we're gonna go to the NFL Honors Awards happened on Thursday night, and to no surprise, Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes won his second career MVP. Oh, what a surprise! Mahomes received 48 of 50%, 50 of the first place votes. Two others went to Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, and then the other, you want to take a guess who was third? Yep, I thought I put that in for you. Okay, so in overall voting, Mahomes finished with 490 points. Hertz was far behind in second with 163. Allen third with 151. Ah, well. Mahomes has won the award twice in his sixth year in the league. Only Jim Brown and Kurt Warner have done it faster. Mahomes led the league in this season in passing yards with 5,220 and 41 touchdowns, as he led the Chiefs to a 14-3 regular season record and was the AFC's number one seed heading into the playoffs. He also set a new record for total yards with 5,614 as he fought through a high ankle sprain to reel off a pair of victories and will start tomorrow in the Super Bowl. Ha ha. In a video message, after the award was given, Mahomes thanked his family and teammates and the organization. Among other honors, Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson won Offensive Player of the Year. He led the league in receptions with 128 or 1,809 yards. Defensive Player of the Year Nick Bosa, 18.5 sacks for the season. Not bad. Now, yeah, despite the fact the Jets collapsed in the later part of the season, they did come away with some winners. Sauce Gardner, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Garrett Wilson, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Not bad, right? Think about it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, okay, the Jets. I mean, they were in contention until late November, early December, but still enough to come away with winners for the team. So I'm happy with that. Yes, but they could have done better. Yeah. Well, anybody else have any thoughts on that so far? Speak up, please. Right. Jimmy's here. Hey, Jimmy. Yeah, right. Yes. Jimmy, your thoughts so far on the NFL awards honors? Yes, yes. Yeah. Well, there's more to come. There's more to come. Oh, wait, Jimmy, what are your thoughts? What are the keys to the game for the Eagles tomorrow? Since I know you're an Eagles fan. Yuck, but still. Yeah. Yeah. Greg, any thoughts on keys to the game tomorrow for either team? Yeah. Right, right. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, yeah. Devin, your thoughts? Mm. Keys to the game. If you have any thoughts on that, either one, whether you're Chiefs or Eagles, don't matter. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. What? Hmm. Hmm. Right. Yes. Yeah, just to clarify that, guys, I was looking for what are the keys on offense or defensive to the game. That's what I meant. So just to keep that in mind. Okay, back to the awards. Brian Daboll won Coach of the Year. No surprise there. He did take the Giants to winning season and their first playoff berth in 6 years. I'm not shocked at all. Geno Smith. Now, why couldn't he do this good in the Jets? I mean, really. He won the Comeback Player of the Year for the Seahawks. He had a career year of 30 touchdowns and passed for 4,282 yards. Oh, sure. But he was with the Jets. He couldn't do squat. Now he's on another team. Oh, he's doing fine, having a career year. It just makes me sick. Any Jet fans out there agree with me? Say aye. Aye. Okay. Just disgusting. He had to go to another team to be having a career year, and he couldn't do it with the Jets. I want to. I'm ready. If I wasn't on the air, I would eat my hat right now. Okay. So anyway, yeah, and you would too. Okay, okay, Steve, I got a little bit of bad news for you. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott won the Walter Payton Award for the year for his off-the-field efforts for his FFF Foundation, which focuses on colon cancer research and suicide prevention. Yes, the Cowboys did go away with an award. Sorry, Steve. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Right. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Uh-huh. Right. All right. So anyway, after injuring his UCL in his right elbow in the title game, 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy spent the last week and a half exploring every option to return to full strength. Thursday, he announced that he decided not only on a surgical option, but has now set a date for the procedure. Okay. Sources told ESPN that Brock will undergo repair in his elbow on the 22nd of this month. We'll have a timeline recovery period of about 6 years. No, 6 months. 6 months. Given the time, Purdy might be able to return by the time training camp rolls in. That's kind of pushing it a bit. It could happen, but I don't know. I can't put a stamp on that. He's been seeking multiple options on the best method to get his elbow back in full strength. He has also been waiting for the swelling to go down, which makes a lot of sense before making the decision because if the swelling doesn't go down, that could be a problem. So he will have the surgery, which is now 11 days away. No, it looks like he might be on the comeback trail here, despite that injury. I thought maybe he would be out, like about a year or year and a half. But ready for training camp, and maybe he'll be ready for the season opener, guys. What do you make of that, Steve Davidson? Ah, come on. Yes. Right. Steve Kent? Right. That would have been a problem. Right. Yep. Yeah. Right. Yes. No. Right. Mhm. Yes. Devin? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Devin. Yeah. Right. Alex? Wait, yeah, Alex. Yeah. Yes. Gerald. Oh, right. Gerald. Okay. Diane. Okay. By the way, guys, has anybody thoughts going to college gears for a minute? Oklahoma and Texas have agreed in principle to leave the Big 12 early and join the SEC in 2024 instead of 2025. That announcement was made official on Thursday night. On July 1st, the Big 12, yeah, will add BYU, UCF, Cincinnati, and Houston, and will complete the 14-team league for the upcoming season. Oh boy. A key part of the school leaving early was a game flip in a non-conference matchup between Michigan and Texas. How about that one, Gerald? Texas will visit Michigan in 2004, and Michigan will visit Texas in 2027. That game was scheduled to be played the other way. The flip was a key driver in Fox agreeing to the deal. Both parties were interested in finding a way for the schools to leave early, but when athletic directors and presidents met in Dallas last week, there was no solution. It was a quick change that surprised some leadership with the league on Thursday afternoon. Hmm. So by reaching this agreement, they said we're now able to accelerate on a new beginning as a new 12-team league and move forward in earnest with our future planning set by Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark. Gerald, since it affects your area, whatnot, what do you make of with the Big 12 getting out of the Big 12 and going to the SEC a year earlier? Yes, yes, you did, you did, you did. You're right. Yeah, yes, right. Fox. Yeah, what a shame. Yes, I believe Dana is here. Yeah, right. I believe Dana is here. I think. Okay, okay, good. Does anybody else have any thoughts on the big move to the other conference? Anybody else? All right. Yeah. He answered first. He answered first. Yes. Yes. Cheryl mentioned that. Yes. Yes, we did. Right. Hmm. Yes, you would have. Okay. Yes. All right. Anybody else? How so? Right. Right. Okay. All right. Anybody else, or move on? All right, Diane, your trivia. Okay. Speak up, go. Should not win the Super Bowl. Brady, no, Brett Favre, Brett Favre, yes, yeah, yes. The key word was not to win a Super Bowl. Keep that in mind. Okay. Okay. Next. Okay. Next question. If you have an next, yeah. You have a next question, Di? I think I'm gonna go option A. Flamers. Yeah, the Arizona Cardinals. Correct. Right. From the Yeah, from the NFL. Because remember, there were other leagues before the NFL, but folded, and some came after and didn't stack up. So we're thinking only NFL only. Gotta remember that. Gotta keep that in mind. Okay. Anything else, Di? Okay. 6, 2. Okay, I'll playoff games. 2, 2, 2. Zippo? Never, huh? Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. All right. Is that it? Okay. Is that it? 0, 0. Wow. A big nothing. Hmm. What a shame. What a pity. Okay. And then it die, or is there anything else? Okay. All right, Steve. Your UFC WWE report. Okay. Fair enough. Yes. You took the words right out of my mouth, Steve. Should be. It should be a great fight. Yeah. Well, Jimmy's a UFC fan. What's to get his thoughts? I think he's a UFC fan, right, Jimmy? He dropped out. Right. Hmm. Never. Wow. Okay. Mhm. Right. Okay. Okay. Anything else, Steve? Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Yes. I'm sure you would. Mhm. Okay. Nice. Mm. Right. Hey, Steve, I got an up I have an update for you if you're interested. Capitals are leading the Bruins right now 2-0, midway through the second period. Just in case you wanted to know. Which brings me to my next article, of the NHL All-Star Hockey Game, which was a lot more entertaining than the Pro Bowl game. Sorry. So last week at the All-Star Game, Red Wings forward Dylan Larkin scores a hat trick, and Maple Leafs winger Mitch Marner had 3 assists to give the Atlantic a 7-5 win over the Central, and a great game it was. MVP Matthew Tkachuk, son of the great Keith Tkachuk, alongside brother Randy, oh, it's a family thing, of the Senators, had 7 points in the day in a 5-point outburst in the semifinal against the Metro. That's where the Devils and Rangers play. Larkin had 5 goals in 2 games. We wanted to get the win for the home fans, said Montreal captain Nick Suzuki. They did a good job cheering for us. We just wanted to get in a good performance. And they did. Coyotes forward Clayton Keller, Stars winger Jason Robertson, and the Avalanche big three of Kale Maker, who is injured right now, Nate McKinnon, and Mikko Ratan all scored in the final for the Central Division. This was the first win for the Atlantic in 6 tries since the All-Star game was changed to this format, which I happen to like. I mean, this format is very entertaining. It was a well-played game, and that's been I think a welcome change for this. Although the East-West format wasn't bad either, but I kind of like this. It brings more to the game on it. You know, I don't know if anybody saw the game or not, but it was very entertaining. And if you get a chance in future years, I think you should look into the NHL All-Star game. Yep. Now, yes, exactly. Yeah, takes after their dad, takes after their dad. Right. Yes. It was Matt. It was Matt. Yes. Mustang. Right. Exactly. Right. Yes. Okay. Now, last week I had a problem with the NHL standings. I don't know why, but it happened. But I got 'em posted up this week, and it goes like this. In the Atlantic Division, well, the Bruins are still the Bruins. 39, 7 and 5, 83 points. I know somebody's happy about that. The Leafs are 32, 13, 8, 72 points. The Lightning, 32, 16 and 2, 70 points. The Panthers, 58 points at 26-22 and 6. The Sabres, 26-21 and 4, 56. The Red Wings, 23-28, 54 points, though an improvement from last season. The Senators are 24-24 and 3, 51 points, and the Canadiens are 21-27 and 4, 46 points. For my division and Diane's and Jimmy's too probably, in the Metropolitan, the Carolina Hurricanes have 76 points at 34, 9, 8. Devils, hey, listen to this die, 34, 13 and 4, 72 points. Rangers not far behind either. Hold on. But the Rangers are not that far behind either. 68 points at 34, at 30, 14, 8. I've done 4 in a row and 5 in a row at home. Pens, 28, 16, and 9, 61 points. The Capitals, 27, 20, and 6, 60 points. Sorry, Steve. Islanders, 27, 23, and 6, 60 points. The Philadelphia Flyers, 22, 22, and 10, 54 points. And the Lonely Blue Jackets, 15, 33, and 4, 34 points. I have 2 words to say about that for you Blue Jackets fans. I'm sorry. Next, losers. Okay, to the West. Stars are 70 points at 30, 14, and 10. They have, I think, the most overtime losses in the league, I think. Jets are 32, 19. They do. 32, 19, and 1, 65 points. Avalanche, fairly decent. 27, 19, and 4, 58 points. I don't know if it's going to be a repeat performance for the championship this year, but yeah, you never know. The Wild are at 58 points, 27, 20, and 4. The Yahoos are 25, 19, and 6, 56 points. You call them the Predators. The Blues, who are feeling a bit blue after a trade this weekend, are 23, 25, and 3. The Coyotes, 17, 20, and 7, 41 points, just like on pace of last year. And the Blackhawks are still the Blackhawks, 16, 29, and 5, 37 points. Ugh. The Pacific, yeah, yeah. To the Pacific, the Knights, 31, 18, and 4, 66 points. Right behind them is the Oilers at 65 points, 30, 18, and 5. Right behind them, the Kraken, only their second year, 29, 18, and 5, 63 points. Also 63 points to the Kings at 28, 18, and 7. The Flames, 60 points at 25, 18, and 10. Okay, so they're tied for most overtime losses in the league. The Canucks are 21, 20, and 4, 46 points. The Sharks, 16, 26, and 11, 43 points. And the Ducks, 17, 30, and 6, 40 points. Which, your part of the expression is nothing to get all cracked up about. Okay, yeah. You know what's going somewhere with that, people. Come on. You know what's going somewhere with that. Come on. Remember, I do my own jokes. Remember that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Ooh, last place. Ouch. Okay. So moving on to NBA now. Stephen Curry of the Warriors is expected to be out through at least the All-Star break with a leg injury. The Warriors are expected to have a better understanding of a timeline for his return in the coming days. I'll get to that in a little bit. Curry injured his leg in the third quarter in the game against the Mavericks after his knee collided with McKinley Wright. That's right, with the W of the Mavericks, as Curry was trying to defend him. I don't think there's been any updates since, but I'll just check the pages anyway after that. So, in last Friday's basketball game between the Wolves and the Magic, the NBA suspended Mo Bama of the Magic 4 games, Austin Rivers of the Wolves 3 games for their roles in the altercation last week. The leagues announced the suspensions will cost Bama over $284,000 in salary, Rivers 60,000, and Suggs 47,700. Well, that's the price you pay for doing something as stupid as that, which makes you the 3 idiots of the week. Wolves forward Jaden McDaniels was fined 20,000 for getting involved in the first place. Bama, Rivers, and Suggs McDaniels were all ejected, as well as Taurean Prince for his involvement. But the league did not give Prince any additional sanctions. Well, I think he should have got some. I mean, he was involved in it, so I think he got off a little bit easy. But these guys are like just really going at each other, and there's some things you just don't do, and you're going at each other, like fisticuffs, and you're paying the price for it. I mean, it's one thing when you see in hockey that's part of the game, but in basketball, there's just no need for that. I mean, they really got to tone down the way they attack each other after a play doesn't go their way. And of course, if you want anything better, and of course, if the yeah, blame the players, yes. Right. I have something on that. I have something on LeBron. You guys know he broke the record. You know he broke the record on Tuesday, right? Yeah, see, yep. He broke the record, and of course the fans are going crazy. I was actually watching that game. I was not going to miss that for the world. I mean, because it's history in the making. So but congratulations on him. I'm not the biggest LeBron fan in the world, but uh, he is what he is the best out there, and Tuesday it proved it. So congratulations on that. But the thing is, how long do you think his record's going to stand? I mean, Kareem, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's lasted 39 years. I don't think with the way the game is being played now that we're going to see that league last that long. Last that long. And who do you think would break it? Mhm. Right. Yes. Hmm. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Easy, easy, easy. Right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Got to move quickly now. Okay. All right. Mhm. Okay. So moving on. Now that Kyrie Irving has gone to the Mavericks, head coach Jason Kidd focused that believe that his pair with Luca cracks open a possible championship window for the Mavericks. They pounced on the idea to acquire a legitimate player for Luka Doncic, agreeing to a blockbuster for Irving and for Markieff Morris on Sunday, just 2 days after Irving requested from a trade for the Nets. Now, the thing is that they said that Kyrie said he felt disrespected by the Nets. I kind of think it's the other way around. I think he was disrespecting them. The team wasn't. He was the one being disrespectful, wide out and everything. So I don't know if I agree with that. I think he was the one being disrespectful, thinking he didn't get any respect. Yeah, for the right age, go. I get no respect from this team. I gotta go somewhere else. Yeah, okay. Moving on. The Mavericks send starter Spencer Dinwiddie, who returns to the Nets, Dorian Finney-Smith, as well as an unprotected 2029 first-round pick and two second-round draft picks to Brooklyn to land Irving without assurances that he would return to the Mavericks next season. I mean, it's tough to say that he will return. Irving, an anytime All-Star, earned reputation as one of the league's best offensive creators during the time with the Cavaliers, Celtics, and Nets. He averaged 23 3 points per game and 5.7 assists in his career, but has now become one of the bad boys of the league for being, more known for his off the court antics. Like, for instance, being suspended 8 games in November, posting a link on Twitter to a book and a film that contains asthmatic overtones. He also, of course, refused to get the vaccine against COVID because of workplace rules in NYC, which only allow him playing road games. He made the trade request twice, once before the season started, and again last week as the Nets become a sinking ship. Jason Kidd is also a former Nets player who won a tie with the Mavericks, for those who remember that. So, can we see a bit of deja vu here? It's possible. I'm not saying it will be, but it could happen. And the Suns and the yeah, quickly. I know, I know. We'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. All right. Okay. Steve. Okay. All right. And the Phoenix Suns, yeah, yeah. And the Phoenix Suns and the Mercury of the WNBA have been sold. The tradition was expected to close back on Tuesday. The Cavaliers, I should say, the Suns were owned by Dan Gilbert of Runs Rocket Mortgage, and Matt Ishiba owns Wholesale Mortgage, and the two are bitter rivals. Well, no kidding. Of the Suns' nearly 20-member ownership group under Robert Server, there are only 4 minority partners who retain the full stake with the team, and shares comprising nearly 25% of the team. The rest of the ownership group sold 25% of their shares at the $4 billion valuation under the max allowed by the sale. Wow, $4 billion. Now let's see if they can able to get some wins. Yeah, that's the next thing you got to work on. More trade. Yeah, more trade news. The Spurs acquired center Dwayne Dedman from the Heat. That, according to multiple reports, the Spurs are also receiving a second-round draft pick and will receive cash considerations, according to those reports. The move, once it's completed, will give some financial flexibility to a roster spot for the Miami Heat. Dedman is averaging 5.7 points per game this season in 30 games, but has only played one game since for the Heat since the incident that occurred last month in the game against the Thunder, where he was getting snubbed out in the second quarter, argued with players and bench coaches and swatted a message gun from the bench. Not very smart, right? Right. Dedman was ejected for being an idiot, unsportsmanlike conduct, and later suspended 1 game by the Heat. And this is the first time both these teams were involved in a trade together. I was not aware of that. I thought it happened sooner. So, more news here. In the wake of the Kyrie Irving trade to the Mavericks, Kevin Durant has been engaged in conversation with owner Joe Tazzi and general manager Sean Marks on the direction of franchise and the ability of becoming a championship contender. So far, the Nets insisted that Durant and other teams of the Nets have no intention of moving Durant prior to Thursday's trade deadline. That has now been changed. I'll get to that in a minute. Durant, who was asked out and then rescinded a trade in the offseason, held a strong interest in the Suns organization, but the organization and numerous others have been told that the Nets are interested in moving Durant. The Suns' new majority owner Matt Ishiba is fully engaging in ownership over the operation and has been aggressive in pursuing ways to make the impact. Since acquiring Finley Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie, and 3 draft picks that sent Irving to the Mavericks, the Nets created a roster spot when they agreed to trade forward Kessler, Edwards, and cash to the Sacramento Kings. The Nets have a potentially $8 million in salary cap and luxury tax. The deal was, according to Bobby Marks of ESPN. KD could return after the All-Star break, and he still has 3 years and $153 million left on his contract. And yet you want to give that up. Okay. Yeah. 3 years, 3 years. Yeah, I know. Shocking. Shocking, isn't it? That's a lot. Yes. That's a lot of money. I know. Yes. Okay. You and me both. Okay. Uh, Devin Book, a look of happiness with relief when I crossed the face of Devin Booker inside the locker room when the Suns beat the Nets for a third straight victory. After missing a month and a half with the rehabbing of a groin strain that he suffered on Christmas night to the Nuggets. He had the confidence return. He gave wait, his attitude was just what he wants, said head coach Monty Williams. Booker's return almost took a backseat to Nets guard Cam Thomas, who became the second youngest player to score 40 points in 3 straight games. Booker went back into the game. The Suns are confident they can keep the wins coming at the hand of the All-Star break and beyond that. We are happy and not complaining, said Chris Paul, of getting Devin back. So it looks like they're gonna, make a run for the playoffs here. We think so. And before the trade, Lowry was injured a left knee and was out for 3 games and could be out longer. So although he's now with his new Mavericks team, he's still not playing yet. So he'll miss games against the Pacers, Rockets, and the Tragic. You call him the Magic. He did not play against the Bucks last week because the Heat said he had left knee soreness. The Heat said he'll be really evaluated with 2 more games before the All-Star break. Any Islanders fans here? Your new addition, Bo Hobart made his debut for the team and scored a goal in his first game, and he pulled up a 4-0 victory over the Canucks. Ilya Sorokin made 31 saves for his 5th shutout of the year and 15th overall in his career. After the goal by Hobart, the crowd went absolutely nuts and started chanting his name. He could savor the moment as he sat on the bench. His name was called as the public address announcer mentioned it. He said it was just unbelievable. Hobart said in the post-game interview. He saluted the fans. The Islanders acquired Hobart in a blockbuster trade with the Canucks in January 30th to be exact. And he signed a $68 million deal for the next 8 years just last week. Well, congratulations. Yeah. Yes. So just to reiterate on some things here. Yeah. All right. So LeBron actually ended up with, well, he needed 36 points to go in. He scored 38, and he ended the game with 352. He went 13 for 20 shooting, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals in that game. So congratulations on that. Yuck. All right. And Zion won't be back until after the All-Star break. A source confirmed that he will miss the final 3 games between the Cavaliers, which was last night, the Thunder on Monday, the Thunder, and the Lakers on Wednesday. The source also confirmed that the All-Star game, he'll miss the All-Star game on the 19th of this month. Sorry. Wilson was voted as a starter despite only playing in 29 games. He injured his hamstring on the 29th, the 2nd of January against the Sixers. He injured his hamstring in the 3rd quarter and has not played since. The Pelicans wanted to lose 13 of the next 16 games. Zion and Brandon Ingram, who was out for a large portion of the game, besides absence, winning their next 3. The Pelicans with Zion are 17 and 12, but without him are 12 and 15. So they kind of need him and need him badly. Yes. Now we've seen a lot of reports with cardiac arrest lately. Well, we have another one, and it's not a player this time. It's an owner. Diane might be paying attention to this story. Kim Pegula, who is the owner of the Bills and Sabres, went into cardiac arrest back in last year, but just made it public a few days ago. She continues to recover to this day, has trouble with her memory, and while she continues to work hard in recovery, it's still a long way to go. And her daughter Jessica, who was a tennis player, wrote an essay for the Players Tribune that was published recently. She shared that her mom that so not likely to be able to return the role she once did. She can read, write, and understand well, but has trouble to respond. Jessica is the fourth ranked tennis player in the world. She said, it's hard to deal with and takes patience and communicate with her, but I thank God every day I'm still able to communicate with her. The doctors continue to be amazed at her recovery, considering where she started. Her determination has been the driving force behind that. Kim is the CEO and president of Peggy West Sports Entertainment. In addition to the owner of the Bills and Sabres, she is the first woman to be named president of an NFL and NHL team, probably simultaneously. So that's something worth mentioning. So we do wish Kim the best of luck. Ugh, yeah. So there's been a lot of that lately. Okay, more trade news. The Lakers have agreed to land Timberwolves D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jaron Vanderbilt. That also involves the Utah Jazz. In a trade, the Wolves will receive guards Mike Conley, Nickel Alexander Walker, and draft picks. The Jazz will receive Russell Westbrook, Juan Nasco, Tasco Anderson, and Daniel Jones, and a lightly protected 2027 pick from the Lakers. All yeah, all players have been notified, including Westbrook, according to sources. After a shaky start to the season, combined with the loss of Carl Anthony Towns with a calf strain in November, keep things Russell keeps things steady with the ship and help the Timberwolves in the mix of competitive race in the middle of the Western Conference. So some big shakeups so far, guys, in the trades. Anybody have any thoughts on these trades so far? Yes. All right. Anyone anyone else? Yes, it is. Yes. That's okay. That's okay. Anybody else? All right, because I'll move on because we have more trades. All right. The Brooklyn Nets and forward Kevin Durant has been. Wait a second. Let me read it again. We are seeing the demise of the Brooklyn Nets as All-Star forward Kevin Durant was traded to the Suns for a package that includes Joe Crowder, who is now being traded again, Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, as well as four unprotected draft picks. Sources told ESPN. In a deal that was struck in the wee hours of Thursday morning ahead of the official deadline, Durant and TJ Warren were sent to the Suns for a massive haul of draft picks this year and again in 2025, 27, and 29, and a draft swap in 2028. Talks both progressed and stalled as the Suns appeared to apply toward a three-way deal that could have landed John Collins with the Hawks sometime on Thursday. On the direction of new owner Matt Ishiba and general manager James Jones, texted Nets general manager Sean Marks after 11 on Thursday night, and it would not be long before Ishiba and new Nets owner Joe Tazzy put together the final elements of a blockbuster trade. The deal delivers Durant to the desert to partner with Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and DeAndre Ayton. And this is the greatest experience in Brooklyn. Durant, Kyrie, Irving, and James Harden all arrived to conquer together and left all the muscle of trade requests. The big three only played 16 games together as a unit. Oh boy. So let me ask my Jersey crew first. Jimmy, where does this leave the Nets now that the big three are gone? Do they even have a prayer now to even compete in the postseason? Yeah. Mike, Mike, let me ask you. Let me ask you. Yeah, I know. Mike, your thoughts. Okay, yes. Mike, your thoughts on the demise probably of the Knicks now because not only is Irving gone, but KD is gone. I mean, do they still have a chance to compete in the Eastern Conference? Well, if I can do skywriting here in big capital letters, I'm putting out the letters HELP right now. Ugh. Okay. Does that does that give you a clue, guys? Diane, your thoughts, since you're from the area. Hmm. Steve? I thought not. Okay, I'll move on. More trades. Go ahead. Well, Dana, the basketball mecca is in Madison Square Garden, not Brooklyn. So just to reiterate on that. Okay, I understand. No West Young man. Yes, I know. Oh, that was my line. Okay, so we have another trade. The Blazers trade Josh Hart to the Knicks. Thank you. Sources told ESPN back on Thursday. In return, the Knicks are saying Cam Reddish, good. Ryan Arcaniando, Siv Mullock, and a protected first round 2023 pick. The lottery projected pick turns into 4 second round picks if not conveyed this year. Comes on Wednesday night, 1 day before the trade line. Acquired in the deal with the Pelicans last season, Hart averaged 9.5 points per game, 8.2 rebounds, and 3.9 assists. He played in all 51 games so far for the Blazers this season and has started every game and averaging 33.4 minutes. Not bad. Hart is one of the best rebounders in the league and is capable of defending multiple positions. His 8.2 rebounds are the most by a player who is 6'5 or shorter. Not to say a 6'5 is short by any means. Offensive rebounding has been the Knicks' strong point this season, ranking third in offensive rebounding percentage and first in second chance points. I knew that. If he chooses to, oh wait, Hart is making 12.9 million this season as a player option for the same amount next season. If he chooses to exercise his option before the June 25th deadline, the contract then becomes a non-guarantee. But gotta tell you guys that the NBA and the Player Association are kind of locked in a bit of a war right now, and if things don't improve by the time June 30th goes around, there's talk of a lockout. So all this might be null and void anyway. So we got to keep our eye on that. Yes, but luckily they were smart enough to resolve it. Yeah, yes, it was. Also, the Lakers also traded Sarah Thomas Bryant to the Nuggets for Davon Reed. The Lakers received the Nuggets' second round picks in 2025, 26, and 29, according to sources. I told you it's going to be a big week in basketball. Bryant signed a 1 year deal with the Lakers last summer, ouch, after missing the 2021 season and 2022 seasons with, you guessed it, an ACL. He started 25 games this season. Reed also earned a spot on the Nuggets roster after playing on several 10-day contracts last season. This season he's played in 35 games, averaging 9 minutes per game. Not bad. So the Lakers are really making moves here, but let's just see how it's going to do um, down the stretch. Now, as I mentioned, Jay Crowder got traded again. He went from the Suns to the Nets. Was sent to a blockbuster deal. Just last night, though, he was traded to the Nets as part of a trade package that was sent by the Suns in exchange for All-Star Kevin Durant and T.J. Warren. in making the trade with the Suns, and the Nets had a chance to move Crowder to a contender and to add another player before the deadline. Crowder has not played all season, as he agreed with the Suns to sit out the season as he wanted to explore trade options, of course, for the forward. He's in the final year of his contract, but was facing a diminishing role with the emergence of Cameron Johnson, one of several factors played into Crowder's request for a trade. His college career was at Marquette, averaging 17.5 points per game and 8.4 rebounds, and was All-American in 2011 and 2012. He played a key role in the Suns making the finals in 2021, but his numbers have taken a bit of a nosedive since then. Well, that could happen, of course. And the deals still keep coming, guys. Clippers acquired Nuggets point guard Bones Hyland. That's his name, Bones Hyland, and shooting guard Eric Gordon in separate trades. The Clippers are sending their second round 2024 and 25 picks for Hyland, sources said. Gordon is involved in a three-team trade that involves the Grizzlies receiving Luke Kennard for 3 second-round picks to the Clippers, and Danny Green goes from the Grizzlies to the Rockets. Like it's going to do any good. Steve, here's where you come in. John Wall is going back to Houston as well with the Rockets, who are acquiring the right to swap the Bucks' first-round pick as they own the Clippers, as they own the first-round pick in the draft. So not looking good. Yeah, I know. I know. Not a great year for Wall at all. Mhm. And just not breaking the wall. Okay. And the Warriors are trading center James Wiseman because only fools rush in. No, okay. Oh, okay. To the Pistons. Oh boy. As part of a multi-team deal, it sends Saddiq Bey to the Hawks and Gary Payton Jr. back to the Warriors. The Hawks are sending five second-round picks to the Warriors to acquire Bey, a source on ESPN. 5 picks though. Wow, that's a lot. Forward Kevin Knox was traded from the Warriors to the Pistons, then Rerod Knox, and then 5 second-round players for Peyton. Wow. Does anybody have directions to this at all? The injury hit Wiseman. The hit Wiseman fell out of the rotation this season, averaging 6.9 points and 3.5 rebounds. He was sent to the G League, which is stand for gargantuan, for 7 games in November after he was struggling in the early part of the season. Then missed 15 games with an ankle injury and only played 2 games since then. Despite his 4 seasons, he has not played a full season for the Grizzlies at all because he suffered a torn meniscus in his rookie season and then faced setback after setback after that. So he is really an injury-ridden player. And I wouldn't want someone like that on my team was just completely injured. No, thank you. My Rangers made a good move. Vladimir Tarasenko has a new home. Defenseman Nico Mako was traded by the Blues for forward Sammy Bilas, a defensive prospect Hunter Skinner, and a conditional 2023 first-round pick, as well as a fourth-round pick for next year. The Blues retain 50% of his salary for the conditions. The Rangers have both original first-rounder and Dallas Stars first pick from an earlier trade. The Blues receive the later of the 2 first-round picks, and if the Stars pick, that would shift to next year, and the Blues would receive the later of the second picks. Tarasenko responded with 34 goals and 82 points last season, earned a playoff spot, but a slow start compiled with a fractured relationship with the front office led to believe that Tarasenko will be gone. He was asked about his future during All-Star Weekend and was unsure about his status. A week later, he comes over to my side for the Rangers and scored a goal. And like I said now, they've won 4 in a row at home and 5 in a row at home. Ah. Hey, too bad Devin's gone but I got some news. Cristiano Ronaldo scored 4 goals for Al Nassr, bringing his total to 500 for his career. That happened over a shootout against Al Wenda. But it's 500 goal in league play. That was on Wednesday. Ronaldo scored all 4 goals within 30 minutes of either side of halftime in a 51st minute penalty on a one-sided victory. The first strike came within 21 minutes of the game, taking his total to 503 overall. The former Real Madrid star joined Nasser in December after his contract with Manchester U was terminated by mutual consent. He has signed a contract through the summer through 2025 and is expected to make $75 million per season. Hey Ronaldo, you got some money you can spare? Yeah, yeah. Okay, it's fine. Yeah. And as I mentioned, Kevin Durant is yeah. And Kevin Durant is now officially with the Suns. Yuck. We're sunk. Okay. Now for the lighter story of the week. For the lighter story of the week. Okay. When okay. So now for the lighter yeah. Mhm. That's that's true. Okay, so for the good news story of the week, or the lighter side rather, a Kobe Bryant jersey that was worn in the 27-28 season was sold for 5.8 million at Sotheby's. That's the auction, a record for a Bryant item and the second most expensive basketball item ever. Following his death 3 years ago, which is right around this time, murals arose around the world depicting Bryant in his uniform per Sotheby's. The jerseys lot includes a collection of photographs by Greg Cohen of those murals. Also, there are murals that depict the jersey, including artwork, magazines, newspapers, T-shirts, etc., etc. The jersey is iconic in a way that we hardly see in sports artifacts, said Sotheby's head of street and modern collectibles, Bram Walker, said in a statement. The image of Kobe wearing the jersey in the playoffs had permeated in popular culture, reprinted on murals, books, magazines, had become a fierce determination and passion that has captured audiences around the world, and rightfully so. It's hard to believe it's been 3 years since his death. I remember coming home from a trip. We heard it on Sirius XM. I wasn't sure if the report was true or not because it came from a source that doesn't really deal with sports. Okay, TMZ. So at first I didn't believe it, but then when I got home and I heard the 6 o'clock news, then it was confirmed it was real. And yeah, but you know how I feel about I know, but you know how I feel about TMZ. Come on. And yes, believe it. Uh-huh. Yeah. Right. Yes. I only got 10 minutes. I don't have a lot of time, guys. I gotta keep moving. All right. So Nets guard Cam Thomas apologized for using anti-gay remark after the Nets win over the Bulls on Thursday, and he was fined $40,000 for that. Thomas was interviewed by TNT along courtside with new teammate Spencer Dinwiddie. 2 days earlier, Dinwiddie joked about in the wake of Kyrie Irving trade with the Mavericks that the Nets might have not the most talented players in the deal. That include Dorian Finney-Smith going to Brooklyn. They did get the better looking, and the Nets needed some help in that department. Oh boy. But he also said some other comments here that I'm not going to mention here on the air because that's just a bit too much. So I'll leave it at that. But I think you kind of get the idea. Yeah, I don't want to make it. I don't want to come off sounding, And Tiger Woods is gonna come back to play golf this year, next week actually, in the Genesis in the Genesis Invitational Tournament. The announcement was made official yesterday. I'm ready to play an actual PGA golf tournament, was tweeted. Woods Foundation serves as the general invitational organizer. Woods was in Los Angeles for the event almost 2 years prior to the day when he was seriously injured in a car accident. He's only played in 3 tournaments since then, all majors. His best finish was 47th in the Masters, dropped out of the third round of the U.S. Open, and missed the cut at the Open, as we now call the British Open. This week, okay, now we gotta go to this week in history. Ah, there we go. Second one down, of course. All right. Okay, so we'll go through this as quickly as we possibly can. All right. Hmm. The 1878 First U.S. Bicycle Club runs in Boston, and they made a song of that later. Bicycle, bicycle, I want to ride. Never mind. Okay. For those of you Queen fans out there, yeah, okay. Thank you. Thanks. In 1952, with the second NBA All-Star game at the Boston Garden, um, the East beat the West 108-91. Paul Azarian of the then Philadelphia Warriors was MVP. They didn't move to California until 1971. Keep that in mind, guys. 1957, NHL Players Association forms. NYC Red Wings Ted Lindsay is elected president. 1965, William Mays signs the highest contract, $130,000 per year, which is now by inflation about 130 million. Mm. Here, yeah. Interesting. 1970, John Lennon pays $1,344 in fines for 96 protesting South African rugby team playing in Scotland. Okay. 1973, 1973, in the worst season of their career, in their history, the Sixers went on to lose their 20th straight game. Oh wow. And only finished 9-73 that season. Yep. Still an NBA worst of all time. 1971, Montreal Canadian John Believable scores his 500th goal. 500, wow. 1978, Dennis Potvin scores his 25th hat trick. Ugh, yuck. 1982, Ozzie Smith for Gary Templeton trade finally goes through. Yes, they did. 1984, Wayne Gretzky sets NHL shorthanded season scoring record at 11. Hmm. Yeah. Quick. No, 11. No, 11 shorthanded goals, Diane, not 11 years of age. Yeah. Right. Okay. 1990, at the 40th All Star game, East beats the West 130 to 113. Magic Johnson, MVP. 1990, in the huge upset of all time, Buster Douglas KOs Mike Tyson in the 10th round in Tokyo to win the heavyweight champion of the world. We all we all remember that, don't we? We all remember that, right? Okay. In the 40 in 1996, the All-Star game, the East beat the West 129-118. Michael Jordan, MVP. 1997, 1997, Bill Parcells becomes head coach of the New York Jets. No joke. No joke. Okay. 2001, All-Star game in Washington, D.C. The East beats the West 111-110. AI, the Philadelphia Sixers guard, MVP. Allen Iverson. Well, actually could stand for artificial intelligence too, but never mind. Artificial intelligence. Yeah. Sorry, I had to throw that in. All right, guys. Now listen carefully. Okay, now guys, now listen carefully because I got something here. We all know that Tuesday is Valentine's Day. For those of you who, of course, pay attention to that. So I thought we'd take a few minutes to see if anybody has any wishes for Valentine's Day here. Steve, is there anybody you want to send out Valentine's Day wishes to while we have time? Okay. All right. Dana. Wow. Wait a minute. He lives in Dallas. Wait a minute, Dana. He lives in Dallas. Or he's just a Cowboys fan. Okay, I thought you lived in Dallas. I thought you had a long distance relationship. Okay. Never mind. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Who else can we get? Okay. Gerald. Gerald. Okay. Jimmy. Yeah. Mike. Uh, oh, that reminds me. Okay, let's take final predictions. Let's get right. Hold it. Let's take final predictions. All right, Steve. Final prediction. Gerald. Jimmy. All right. All right. Dana. Dana. Whoa. Diane. Final score. All right. I'm saying Chiefs 27, Eagles 21. Haha. Diane, any Valentine's Day thoughts you want to give out? Thank you. Just for the record, we celebrated last night. Just to keep on that. I want to wish, of course, I want to wish my nieces, of course, to wish my nieces a happy Valentine's Day. To my mom, my sister-in-law Denise out in Texas, and of course to Diane, who's been at my side now for the last 13 years. And without her, I without her help, I don't think I'd be here right now. So I want to thank, you know, y- yes, yeah. I mean, it's also a sad time of year because while we're just mentioning of a passing, this is also the same time around that Erica passed away 3 years ago. Something came up on the Facebook last night. Um, to remember because remember we didn't just I didn't just lose somebody on here. I lost a partner, radio partner, and I lost a brother. So this time of year always I always think about that he would still be with us, and I think that if it was still with us, I think he'd be very proud of what has been done to the show. Because without him, I wouldn't even be here. Because there's a milestone for me coming up in the summer. I'll explain that later as the time as we go into later the year. But it'd be a special year, and without Eric, I wouldn't have been here, buddy. buddy, I know you're looking down on us. I'm keeping this show alive. I'm not letting you down. And I want to say thank you, man. Thank you. All right, Mike, what is that? 39 what? 39 what? Say it again. That's a bit of an interesting score, but okay, I'll buy that. All right, so it's time for me to split. I believe that Rasal's coming up with his show. I hope. So he'll take you through your early part of your Saturday night. And, so next week we'll cover who won the Super Bowl. Yes, we'll also cover next week with the that other league that's going to be putting into play next week. You call it the XFL. So we'll give thoughts on that. Oh boy. So, and of course, we'll also take a look at the All-Star game for the NBA next week because that'll be next Sunday. So it should be another very interesting show. And I hope you all tune in again for that. So, yeah. So call in, tune in, whatever the case may be. So I wish you all a pleasant week and good night. So on that note, yeah. And go Chiefs. Yes. Okay, just let me get out of here. Oh, all right. Oh, out of here.
You have just been in heads by Lou Tenor and Steve Davidson. See you next Saturday at the same time, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Have a wonderful week from the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network.